understand that it is too much and causing asset bubbles, overvaluation of currencies, and risk of harmful massive reversals, like what happened in the Asian crisis, then that might help stem the foreign investors' retaliation in case we try to use a capital control, especially in the stock and bond markets. Because in the banking sector, we already have actual capital controls with actual regulations. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lim. So we are now inviting the press to ask questions of our guest speakers. We have a mic there and to the side. Yes.
Good afternoon. I am Michelle Remo from the Philippine Daily Inquirer. My question goes to Mr. Tateno. May I ask you to expound on the proposal on having 100 days in a year jobs? I mean, what kind of jobs and who will be the employer? How will we go about this? And then to expound on the proposed universal non-contributory pension for people aged 65 years old and above. And what do you mean by non-contributory? And then I believe that currently the Philippines' revenue to GDP ratio is still below pre-Asian crisis levels. So what ratio do we need in order to be able to finance this huge investment proposal?
Could you repeat the last question?
Could you repeat the last question?
The last question is, how much revenue to GDP ratio do we need in order to be able to finance the investment proposals?
Should I answer your questions now, or should we collect questions first and answer later?
I think you may answer now.
Okay, the first question is about the job guarantee program, 100 days. First, I have to admit that I'm not the one who ran this program, but I can provide as much as I know. It's 100 days job guarantee program. Is targeted to everyone who is participating to the job guarantee program. Mostly targets are the people, everyone in the informal sector, including the agricultural sector. Can you show the slides that I used? Slide number. Slide number 16 or 17, I believe, when I listed the proposed policy package. Then, in terms of the ideal or required tax revenue to GDP, it's not easy to answer because it depends on how much have been already invested in infrastructure or universal healthcare. So there is no cutting edge numbers or just one optimal number I can give you. But just looking at what is the tax to GDP ratio for other countries, like for example, I'm talking about the general government, central government only. But the India or like Bangladesh, we are having about 10 to 15% of GDP. So I assume that that's the minimum requirements, and ideally we can further increase by improving the tax efficiency collection as well as the tax administration. So that's all I can say. But I know that people are here to listen to our experts, so I'd like to hear some opinions from our resource persons, please.
Maybe there are other questions.
Maybe a second question.
Yes.
Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat from ABS-CBN Online. Your projection for inflation for the Philippines is at 4.1. It's above BSP's 3.3. Is inflation this year expected to remain stable? And does that mean that the inflation will spike sometime this year? I mean, based on your projections. And another is, do you think the peso will continue its appreciating trend, although it has been swinging sideways so far this year?
Hello. Yes. The inflation forecast is 4.1%, which is a lot higher than the current year. 4.1%, yes, a lot higher than the current year, the previous year of 3.1%. As you said, it's higher than other forecasts. Because now last year, the Philippines saw some inflation slows coming from the energy prices and food prices, but we are expecting the food price pressure will return because of some of the natural disaster related risks. But still, it's 4.1, and we don't think it's too high for the Philippines. If you look at the inflation number in 2011, it was close to 5%. Compared to that, it's still, I would say, it's a sustainable level in terms of price levels. Thank you.
I know that you are all eager for your exclusive, your one-on-ones with our resource person. So, okay, if there are no other questions, a bit of housekeeping. Please make sure that you all have your blue stubs, no? Your blue stubs will entitle you to cross over buffet here at Saisaki, Gads, and Kamayan. So, after we adjourn, please go to Mr. Rodell. He's the one with a red tie. He will give you your plate and you can enjoy the lunch. But before we go, I would like to present our certificate of appreciation to our two guest speakers. I would like to invite Mr. Tatena in front to present the certificates to Dr. Cayetano Paderanga and Dr. Joseph Lim. I will just read the text of the certificate. The United Nations Information Center, Manila, presents the certificate of appreciation to Dr. Cayetano Paderanga Jr. for being one of our guest speakers during the 2013 Economic and Social Survey of Asia and the Pacific Manila launch, with the theme Forward-Looking Macroeconomic Policies for Inclusive and Sustainable Development, given this 18th day of April 2013 at Saisaki Restaurant Green Hill, San Juan City, signed by Luisa Carvalho, United Nations Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator and UN Development Program Resident Representative. Okay, we will present the same certificate to Dr. Joseph Lim. Mr. Tateno, if you will. All right, thank you very much to our guest speakers, Mr. Tateno, and to all our media friends and partners. So I know that you are anxious to ask them your questions, so please go ahead. I hope our guest speakers will be able to oblige.